Hey everyone, it's Lisa. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. So for today's video, I'm going to show you how I did this gel nail application using my non-dominant hand. And you know, it's not the easiest doing it that way, but I'm going to show you some tips and tricks on how I achieve the smoothest application I could get. So if you're interested in seeing that, please keep watching. So nail prep is one of the biggest things when applying gel to your nails. If you have cuticle on your nail plate, dead skin, whatever the case may be, it will cause lifting. So if you do have lifting problems, that could be the reason that you are not doing prep very well. So I start off with pushing back my cuticles, exposing all of the dead cuticle, and then I just took off a nail set so they weren't too horrible. So I just used a ball bit to go around and remove the dead cuticle from my nail plate. And I do have some leftover product on my nails right now. That's why they're not looking, so hot. But a good tip is when you're using your non-dominant hand, and especially with the E-file, because you don't want to hurt yourself, as you can see here, I'm resting the E-file on my hand to have, good support and to make sure I'm bracing myself so I can get the most control of the E-file and make it, safer. So that's what I'm doing here, and I'm just going around my cuticle area and also on my skin, because this gel bit is safe to use on your skin. So, you just got to position your hand the best way that it is safe using this E-file, and just remove all the dead skin that you can. So I forgot to mention, I did use that at about 6 RPMs, and I'm using this at 6 RPMs as well. So now, as you can see, I switched to my sanding band, and I'm just removing the leftover product, as I said, I had on my nails. And once all that product is removed, I use this as well to remove all the shine from my nails. So you can also use this as well to go around your cuticles one more time and just make sure that all that is removed. So now I switch to my 180 grit sanding band, because that's what you want to use once you reach your nail plate. So before, I was using an 80 grit on my nails because I still had product on my nails. But you don't want to use something that harsh on your nail plate because you can damage it. So now, like I said, I switched to my 180, and I'm just smoothing everything over and making sure all that shine is gone. So now I'm using my Mia Secret gel cleanser on my nails to remove all of that dust. I decided to use my clear nail forms, and I'm just taking off the tab and sticking that on the back, because that gives you extra support, like stiffness of the nail form. And I'm just gonna pre-pinch the two end wings to make it easier. And you want to put it underneath the free edge of your nail, making sure that it is straight. Like you have the lines in it, you want that to be straight. And see how much I pinched it? The more you pinch it, the bigger of the C curve you are going to have. So if you don't like C curves, then you do not want to pinch it so much. So that's all personal preference. And you want the nail and the form, as you see there, to be level. You don't want the form sticking up or down. Here I am bending those wings to one side to make them not as long. I'm bending them over. So as you can see here, I can lay my hand flat. That's also another trick that I like to do, especially with your non-dominant hand, so you have more control and stability. You can also just cut them off but I didn't have my scissors near me, so I just bent them. And like I said, as you can see here, your hand lays nice and flat. So also you do want something to stabilize your hand. So whatever it may be, you know, you want to rest your hand on something. So now I'm going to go in with my Mia Secret nail prep and primer, and I'm going to prep up all these nails. Now this step is very important as well, because while attaching the forms, you probably touched your nail plate again and got oils on them and dust or whatever. So you do want to use this dehydrator again. And if you don't have a nail prep, you can just use alcohol or a little acetone. But you don't want to skip this step because you really want to make sure there's no lifting. And then as well, the nail primer is pretty important too, because it makes sure you have a good adhesion of the product that you're using to your nail plate. So when you use that, you do kind of want to rub it in a little bit, make sure it's really on there good. And if you have nails that are prone to lifting, you can apply 2 coats of this. Now I am adding some of my rubber base gel to my nails, and I just like to put a base. I mean, it's not necessary, but I just like to give my nails a little extra protection. And I've been beating them up lately, which is why I'm going ahead and doing a gel overlay and enhancement, because I just want to stop abusing my nails and give them a little time to regroup. So yeah, I just want to add this for a bit of protection, but this step is optional. So this as well, you want to make sure it is rubbed in a little bit to your nail plate, and then I cure it for a full 60 seconds in my lamp. So now I'm starting with the gel application, and I'm using my oval brush and my fiber gel. I'll have everything I used listed in my description box if you are interested. And I'm gonna go in with this fiber gel on only my natural nail plates, because I do want to give it some color, and it is a bit runny. So I don't really like to use it for an extension. So I just apply a thin layer to every nail as my slip layer, and then I'll move on to the next step. I did flash cure those because, like I said, this product is runny. So now I'm going in with my bigger scoops on each nail, and you just move the product from sidewall to sidewall. Make it nice around the cuticle area, and repeat this on every nail. You do want your application as smooth as possible, so it's important to move your nail in all angles so you can see what's going on. Fix it up, make sure it's all good. And don't forget, I am using my left hand and I am a righty, so I want to make sure that I clean everything up, and I do cure them in between every nail, because like I said, it's difficult doing it with this hand, so I want to make sure that everything comes good in the beginning so there is less filing at the end. Just going to show you on a few nails because this takes a long time. So after I do this, I'm going to jump to the extension part. So for my extension, I use the Venalisa Jelly Gel in the deep nude color. And as you can see here, I take that scoop and I put it right where my free edge is, because you do want those two to connect, the two products. So I am just, you know, smoothing it out, dragging it down to create the skeleton of my nail. And then I do take that product and I put it over the fiber gel, the pink fiber gel that I put on my nail beds, because I do want these colors, you know, to blend in a way. I don't want it to be such a harsh, you know, transition. So I just do a light coat of that product on my nail bed, and then I give this a cure. But first, as you can see, I am using those eyeliner cleanup brushes, which I really do love. It came in handy, especially with using my left hand for this application. So I'm just cleaning up anything that, you know, I might have gotten out of place, and then I give it a cure. So now I'm going in with my second scoop on that extension area. I'm sorry, I can't talk today. So yeah, I'm doing that second scoop there, so it's not so much of, you know, a difference between the nail bed and the extension, just so I give it some more height. Go from sidewall to sidewall, left to right. Make sure it's all nice and clean, like I said, so at the end, when you are up to the filing, you have hopefully less work to do. I also do want to mention that it is important to put a lot of product in the area where you see me putting it right now, because that is like the stress area, and you do want the majority of your product there. You want your free edge to be nice and thin, and you want that area, what I said, to be the thickest. So I continue doing this on all of my nails, and then I give them a full 60-second cure. I wiped off that sticky layer, and now I'm just releasing the nail forms. You want to do it pretty easy, kind of want to squeeze it at the bottom like you see to try to pop them off, because you don't have the full structure yet of the nail. So like I said, just squeeze it in the middle and then it should release itself. So since I used my left hand, you know, the application wasn't the cleanest. So as you see here, I am taking some nail clippers and I'm just clipping off all pieces of gel that is not needed, just so there's less to file, because as you can imagine, and as I'm sure you know, filing with your non-dominant hand is not so much fun. So I'm just trying to clean these up as much as possible before I go in with hand filing and e-filing. Okay, so now with my hand file, I am just crisping up those edges, and I'm filing on a slant because I do want coffin shape. That's the shape that I usually always sculpt my nails into. I just like it a lot. So I'm just going from side to side, shaping it up, and also paying attention to the bottom as well, making sure that that's nice and flat too. And then I do this to every nail. Once that is complete, I use my e-file and I use that 180 sanding band because gel isn't really that tough. It's not as hard as acrylic, so I want to make sure I don't take off too much. I just want to smooth everything out and make sure it's the shape that I like. So here's how they look after that, and that is the shape I was wanting. So now that I have that, shaped mostly, I am gonna go in and encapsulate. I didn't do the shaping 100% because, like I said, I have to encapsulate still. So obviously I'm encapsulating with clear gel and now I am just making sure that the nails are all leveled, that I have a good apex and all that. So I'll just show you this one nail. I already showed you a lot of gel application. I don't want to make this video too long, but yeah, you just basically, float the clear gel over your nail from side to side and just making sure you get the best shape as possible. So now I go in with my cone-shaped cuticle bit. I go around all my cuticle areas, make sure they are all smooth and remove any excess product. And then once I am happy with that, I switch back to my sanding band so I can smooth over the whole nail. I'm just going to show you this in a couple of nails. So what I do is I take my file, I basically keep my left hand still, as you can see, and I'm using my right hand to do all the moving. And I'm just going up and down on that whole nail because that is going to debulk it and give it the shape that I am looking for. Nice rounded shape, on top. No harsh square lines from filing the sides. As you can see there, that's the coffin shape. So I achieve that very good by doing this motion right here. So also what's very helpful for me is, as you see here, I have this kind of, like used and abused nail file. It still works, but it's all bent and stuff. And that really helps me get a nice, smooth, good file because it's kind of the same as, the buffer sponge where it's very flexible. So I do like to hold on to a couple of nail files like that because it does help me get around the cuticles really good and all the areas that you see here of me filing, just to make sure everything is smooth and as good as possible. So also, as you see here, I like to file one side a little bit and then I move to the other side. I don't like to stay filing one side for too long because then you can chance over filing and misshaping it. So yeah, I just showed you there that bump you don't want. And the fastest way to get rid of it, again, is this movement that I showed you before. Doing this over the whole nail really debulks it, and when I just filed on the side, it makes like a line on both sides of your nails. So to get rid of it, you just do that movement that I'm doing here, and it gets rid of that misshape from the sidewall filing. So when I was done with that, I wiped down my nails And now I'm giving them a quick base coat just in case, you know, there's any ridges left. I want to fill them in, although I did buff it, but you know. So I'm just doing that. Like I said, a quick base coat. I'm going to give that a cure. And then I went in with my top coat. And I decided just to leave these nails this color for now because this did take a long time and I didn't feel like starting the whole, you know, design process yet, but I probably will do that in another video. I gave them a top coat, some cuticle oil, and this is the end result of my nails. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and that I gave you some helpful tips with gel application using your non-dominant hand. I will do a video soon with my dominant hand, you know, just to get a little more in depth with it. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a good day or night, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.